there, quilting friends, it's Carolina Moore, your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber, and we are working on our 4-patch block of the month. If you're new around here, pop down to the description. Everything you need, all the links you need to get you all caught up are right in there. And if you're here to work on the September 4-patch block of the month, that's what we're doing today. So let's get started. As usual, I have my pieces cut out. Again, all the information you need on how to get the cutting instructions are down in the description, so you can grab those there. I have all of my green pieces and my background pieces. We're doing what we did last month, which is half square triangles. I'm going to draw my lines on there. I've already drawn my lines on all my other pieces because we did this last month. It's not new. We're using this same little Creative Grids ruler, and we are drawing the lines on either side and then down the middle. I'm using my mechanical pencil with the green lead. You can use a regular mechanical pencil. I do love my friction pens for these kinds of things, but this ruler is not great for friction pens because of this line down the middle right here. So I've drawn my lines on all of my background pieces, and we can just get to sewing. This one's quick, not a lot of prep, right? So we're doing these right sides together, and we're going to sew on the straight lines that are on either side. We're going to not stitch on that dotted line because that's going to be our cut line. I have my 1/4 inch foot on my machine, so I'm going to swap that out for, I think this is a J foot. Yep, this is a J foot. So I'm going to put my J foot on there. J foot's just like a great, like, everyday foot that doesn't have a 1/4 inch on there. So I'm going to line this up and just start sewing on those lines. Okay, so that happened. I was stitching without my bobbin thread there and wasn't paying attention. So some of these have been stitched. The one's partially stitched and 2 are not stitched at all. So these I'm going to have to, I would say restitch, but I didn't stitch them in the first place once I get a new bobbin thread going. Once you have one side stitched, you're going to turn this around and you're going to stitch the other side. We have all of these sewn on both sides, so I can use a rotary cutter and ruler to cut these down the line, or I can just use scissors. My shears are sitting right here, so I'm just going to use my shears to cut these right down that center dashed line. These are all pressed. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the dog ears. You could also square them up. These get squared up to 3.5 inches. It's up to you which way you want to finish these off. So I'm laying these out, and I'm just stacking 4 on top of one another. I already have 1 down, so I'm just putting 3 on top of the one I already have down. And excuse me. And that makes our 4-patch unit. Now you can, if you want, lay out the whole block. You can look at the picture and lay out the whole block, and then you can stitch your whole rows together, so of 4, and then stitch your rows, your completed rows together to one another. And you can absolutely finish it that way. This is a 4-patch block of the month, so I'm gonna just make it as a 4-patch. But there's more than one way to put together a quilt block. And it isn't that one way is more right or not less right. That would be a perfectly acceptable way to put this together. But just in keeping with our theme, we're making this one as a 4-patch. So I have it laid out. I'm gonna stitch my pairs together to make rows. And then I'll be able to stitch those rows together to make the finished quilt block. Oh, let me swap this out for my 1/4-inch foot. So we have our top pieces and our bottom pieces, and we need to press. I'm going to press these ones in this direction towards that green, so I can press these ones in this direction towards that green. There we go. So now these, I'm going to just turn them sideways like this, are going to get stitched together. And now these can all get pressed. I'm going to go ahead and spin the seams on these ones. There we go. And I've got this fun pinwheel design going on. So I'm going to stitch them in together into sets to make my rows, and then I can stitch my rows together to make my quilt. Or not to make my quilt, just to make my block. This is just a block, part of the quilt. Lay these out. I'm going to press this one in that direction, so this one in that direction. And now these two can go right sides together for the last seam. There we go. I'm going to pop open that center so I can spin the seam. Give that one last press. And there we go. That's the 9th block in the series. I'm so excited that you're joining in. If you need any of the links, again, those are down in the description. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Make sure you've given this video a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to this channel because I have lots more quilting fun to share with you. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. I'll see you right here real soon. Bye for now.